What's up, Chargers Nation? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is one of those moments where, as a fan, you stop and ask yourself, are we actually helping Justin Herbert or setting him back again? Because after the latest offensive coordinator update, a lot of Chargers fans, myself included, are seriously worried about the direction of this offense. Today, we're talking about why fans are nervous, what this potential OC move really means for Herbert, and why this hire might be the most important decision of the Jim Harbaugh era so far. But before we get into it, smash that like button, subscribe to Chargers Nation. We are pushing hard for 3,000 subscribers, and your support really helps this channel grow. All right, let's break this down. The Chargers still don't have an offensive coordinator for the 2026 season, and that alone already creates anxiety when your franchise quarterback is Justin Herbert. After the playoff loss, Jim Harbaugh fired Greg Roman, making it clear the offense needed a fresh direction. Harbaugh said, "We're always striving for a direction that's going to make us better." And Chargers Nation, everyone agrees with that. The problem is who they're talking to now. According to reports, the Chargers have interviewed Brian Callahan for the offensive coordinator job. And if you've been on social media at all, you already know the reaction. Brian Callahan was fired by the Tennessee Titans after a 1-15 start in 2025. Finished 4-19 as their head coach, previously spent 5 seasons as OC with the Bengals. And the fan response has been brutal. Some real reactions. Please no. Impressive, they found someone worse than Greg Roman. Yeah, no thanks. That's not noise, that's fear. Let's talk about why this hits so hard. Justin Herbert entered the playoffs with an 11-6 record, but against the Patriots, 159 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, a 16-3 loss, completely shut down offensively. And now, Herbert is 0-3 in the playoffs. That's not on him alone, but optics matter. This fan base has watched Herbert go through multiple head coaches, multiple offensive coordinators, constant scheme changes, and now he's about to get his 5th offensive coordinator in the NFL. That's insane. Here's what makes this tricky. Statistically, the Chargers' offense in 2025 ranked 12th in yards per game, 20th in points per game. That tells you everything. They could move the ball, but they couldn't finish drives. In the red zone, in big moments, in the playoffs, that's where elite offenses separate themselves. And that's why this OC hire is so critical. That's the question Chargers fans are asking. Greg Roman had his flaws: predictable play calling, lack of creativity, receivers not schemed open. But replacing him with someone who just went 4-19, was fired mid-season, and doesn't inspire confidence from the fan base, that scares people. Not because Callahan is incapable, but because this team cannot afford another miss. Jim Harbaugh is a respected football mind, but right now, this decision will define Justin Herbert's prime, the Chargers' Super Bowl window, and whether this team becomes elite or stays stuck in almost. Herbert doesn't need another conservative scheme, another learning curve, another reset year. He needs a modern passing offense, creativity, tempo, red zone efficiency, and someone who builds the system around him. Chargers Nation, this isn't just an offseason headline. This is a crossroads moment. If the Chargers truly want to take the next step toward becoming legitimate Super Bowl contenders, this offensive coordinator hire has to be perfect. Because if they get it wrong again, it won't just hurt the offense, it could waste Justin Herbert's prime. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you worried about Justin Herbert right now? Would Brian Callahan be a downgrade? Who do you want as the next Chargers offensive coordinator? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one.
What's up, Chargers Nation? The OC search continues, and today, the Chargers officially interviewed Marcus Brady for the offensive coordinator job. And when I saw that name pop up, my first reaction was simple. Are we actually moving forward, or are we recycling the same problems? Because this decision matters more than people realize, especially when you've got Justin Herbert as your quarterback. Today, we're breaking down who Marcus Brady is, why this interview happened, what it means for the Chargers offense, and whether this would actually help Herbert or hold him back. But before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe to Chargers Nation, help us hit our goal of 3,000 subscribers. If you love Chargers content, this is the place. All right, let's get into it. On Thursday morning, the Chargers announced they completed an interview with Marcus Brady, the team's passing game coordinator, for the vacant offensive coordinator position. Brady has been with the Chargers since 2024, joining Jim Harbaugh's original staff, and he's held the same role his entire time in LA. So this is an in-house interview, and honestly, that part alone is not surprising. NFL teams almost always interview internal candidates. It keeps continuity, minimizes chaos, and shows respect to the staff. But continuity is only good if what you're continuing actually worked. Marcus Brady was hired alongside Greg Roman for a very specific reason. Greg Roman's history? Elite run game designer, heavy, physical offense, not known for creative passing attacks. So Brady's job was supposed to be build the passing game, develop timing concepts, create easy buttons for Justin Herbert, help modernize the offense. On paper, that makes sense. In reality, let's be honest, Chargers Nation. By the end of the season, the passing attack was a mess. Yes, injuries played a role. Rashawn Slater out, Joe Alt out, constant offensive line shuffling. That makes everything harder. But that cannot be the excuse for no rhythm passing game. Few quick throws, receivers rarely schemed open, Herbert constantly forced to play hero ball. Elite passing offenses adjust, they simplify, they adapt, they protect the quarterback with design. And that just didn't happen. The Chargers finished 12th in yards per game, 20th in points per game. That's the definition of mid. Moving the ball between the 20s means nothing. If you can't convert on third down, you can't score in the red zone, you disappear in the playoffs. And we all remember how that ended. That playoff performance was a stinker, and every coach tied to the offense owns a piece of that. Here's where I'm at, Chargers Nation. This interview makes sense procedurally, but I highly doubt Marcus Brady gets real consideration. Why? Because he was still part of the duo that ran the offense, and I don't think fans or the organization want to recycle names, repackage the same system, or sell internal growth after a playoff collapse, especially not when Justin Herbert is entering his prime, and this will be his 5th offensive coordinator. That's not development, that's instability. Justin Herbert does not need another conservative offense, another learning curve, another year of figuring it out. He needs a clear offensive identity, creativity, tempo, a system built around his strengths, and answers when defenses adjust. If the Chargers are serious about becoming Super Bowl contenders, this OC hire has to feel like a clear upgrade, not a safe internal option. Interviewing Marcus Brady is fine. Hiring him, that's a different conversation. This moment is too important to play it safe. Justin Herbert's prime, the AFC arms race, the pressure to win now. The Chargers can't afford another almost. Now I want to hear from you. Would you be okay with Marcus Brady as OC? Or do the Chargers need a completely fresh outside voice? What type of offense do you want to see with Herbert? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're a real Chargers fan, like, subscribe, help us hit 3,000 subscribers. This OC decision will shape the future of this franchise, and Chargers Nation will cover it all. Bolt up. I'm Victor. See you in the next one.